Okay, so I'm live in my Facebook group at Beauty Biz Secrets, as well as my Instagram at Real Sheila Bella. And I thought I would record, just make sure my tech is working properly, this episode of Pretty Rich Podcast live chat today because I have a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine that I really look up to. Okay, she's had a lot of success in the medical field. She's had a lot of success in the medical field. And she wants to start a beauty business. She has a successful medical practice, but she's never had a successful beauty business. And then so she was just asking for my advice. And I said, well, you should probably invest in some marketing. But she's so afraid to lose money that I feel like it's keeping her down. And today I just wanted to chat about a couple of very prominent killers of success in the beauty business. The first one is ego. First, thinking you know everything. And that's pretty self-explanatory because that kills a lot of things. Ego kills relationships. Ego kills progress. And ego for sure is a culprit in of an unsuccessful business. But the second culprit, I think it's fear. It's particularly the fear of losing money. The fear of losing money prevents you from making money. The fear of losing money prevents you from making money. Before I continue, because I want to elaborate on what this is and how you can get over it, I wanted to invite you guys to my new webinar, getpmuclients.com. Check it out. And yeah, if you want to increase your bookings or your money back, go check out getpmuclients.com.
Welcome to Pretty Rich Podcast. My name is Sheila Bella, founder of Sheila Bella Microblading. I am also the American Academy of Micropigmentation Board President, and I am the CEO of Pretty Rich Bosses. I am the mother of 3 sons and the proud wife of William James Rouge III. My journey started as a broke server at a sports bar wearing a schoolgirl outfit, serving beer and avocado fries. And I got fired from that job. It was crazy. And within 3 years, I became a multi-millionaire as a brow artist. When the pandemic hit and my salon was shut down, I was devastated until I realized that opportunity doesn't go away. It just changes location. So I built my second multi-million-dollar business online, proving to my own imposter syndrome that it wasn't the business, it was me and my knack for making money. So, how did I go from being an uneducated immigrant from the Philippines to being featured in Forbes magazine, Bravo, NBC, and CEO Weekly? Well, all by the grace of God and realizing that I was my own Prince Charming. I had to be my own life jacket because I had more control over my life than I thought I did. And literally, all it took for me was to finally decide that I wasn't gonna be mediocre anymore. The conversations in this podcast are going to show you that you're not alone, that really none of us know what we're doing, and it's also gonna equip you with the tools necessary to help you do exactly what I should have done all along, which is to believe in myself. Stop waiting for permission and skip the line. It's going to help you create your perfect job and hire yourself as CEO. Because power is never given to you. You just have to take it. And hey, I want to feature you on this podcast. And all you have to do is text me the word podcast to 310-388-4588, along with any and all questions that you may have, and I will answer them here along with a shout out. Are you ready, Beauty Boss? Let's go.
But okay, so back to our topic. So the fear of losing money, I've been there. It can be a really powerful force, right? That can stop you from taking risks. It can be downright paralyzing. It's a paralyzing emotion. It's very real. But it prevents you from investing in yourself and in your future. It is a really strong feeling that can lead into frugality, which is a positive thing, but can also lead into a state of being cheap. And being cheap can keep you from achieving financial success. So, first of all, money doesn't grow on trees. So we work very hard for our money. So I understand why, especially in the beginning, I get it. If in the beginning, you're not super sure how this got in your hands, you might feel like you just got lucky that this client booked with you. Maybe you don't have a repeatable sales process that you're confident in yet. So whatever you earn from that, you're probably going to be very, very careful with, and rightfully so, but it might lead into a state of being cheap. When you're not confident about the machine that you've built, I understand why you would be afraid to lose money, why you would be afraid to lose what you've earned, because to you, you're not confident you can repeat those steps. Do you see what I'm saying? So when it comes to money, that fear, that lack of confidence can lead to being cheap. It can mean different things to different people. Generally, this means being unwilling to spend money on things that could potentially benefit you in the long run. This can include things like investing in yourself, such as taking classes, getting more certifications for additional services, investing in your future, perhaps. Learning skills, you guys, learning more skills is so important, especially in the beginning of your beauty business. Learning skills like Facebook ads, learning copywriting, learning public speaking, learning content creation, right? And spending money on marketing. It could also mean being just downright unwilling to spend on things that could make your life easier and give you more time. Things that are like, quote unquote, low level jobs, right? Perhaps like hiring a cleaning lady, maybe somebody to help you with your laundry, because this fear of losing money keeps you hoarding. How about a personal assistant to help you get back to emails? You could think about it. You could spend whatever that first hour of the day getting back to emails into actually doing a service, into actually creating more income or marketing or creating content. The fear of losing money can be so strong, it could lead to a state of being cheap. And if your business isn't making money, which is literally your business's primary function, it's literally the thing that it's supposed to do, right? Perhaps you should strengthen that money-making muscle that your business has and develop and create a more confident business so you're not so afraid. Being cheap can also lead to a lack of financial planning, because when you're unwilling to spend money on things that could potentially benefit you in the long run, you're not taking the time to plan for your future. I have been in the beauty business now since 2010, 2011, I suppose you could say officially. And what I have to say is I've always played for the long game. The beauty biz is a long game. Everyone wants to make 2023 their most successful, their wealthiest year yet, right?
But I have to say that the people that I know that are the most successful in this industry, their time horizons are longer. So if you are so into the success of your business right now, tomorrow, if you're thinking short term, it might prevent you from setting money aside for a rainy day fund. You're supposed to set 5% of your gross revenue aside for a rainy day, for emergencies, right? Thinking short term too might create this scarcity mindset where you will splurge on your studio and make it super Instagrammable because you think that that's what's going to bring clients in if you have a very presentable studio, instead of understanding how marketing and sales works and understanding that that part of it, that aesthetic of your studio, is actually a very small part of what brings clients in, right? If you are not taking the time to research and understands the different types of investments, right, that are needed for you to grow, like business coaching or marketing opportunities that can help you grow your business revenue, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Ah, I totally understand this feeling too, because when, again, guys, it comes down to business confidence. When you are not confident in how your business generates income, if you're not confident in new client acquisition, no wonder you're cheap. You don't naturally feel powerful in that area. So you are going to hoard, and that is what's going to keep you down. And the fear of losing money is so powerful, can stop you from making it. It is paralyzing. It can prevent you again from taking risks, investing in yourself, in a lack of financial planning for the future, a lack of financial discipline because you're splurging, a lack of taking advantage of opportunities that will help you make more money and increase your net worth, right? The things that your business needs, especially early on, are those proper types of investments. So if you want financial success, it is important to overcome this fear and take the necessary steps to feel more confident in new client acquisition skills and strategies. You are so confident in your business. That's how I want you to feel, so confident in your business that you know how much money your business is going to make next month, because you know that action X plus action Y equals this result. You know what actions, if you do this, then this is what happens. If you send 20 messages out, 20 emails out, you know the return on that investment, of that time investment, is 10 grand. You need to know these things. You need to know these things with at least 60% proficiency. And you can predict those things if you take the time to understand what your sales process is and learning marketing specifically for your niche business, because every business is the same. Is different. Every business is different depending on your location, your demographic, who you're targeting, what your services are. But the bottom line is, get to know what that sales process is. How do you identify a sales process? Think about your last 10 clients. How did they find you? How did they find you? How did you get them to pay? Okay, whatever that is, write it down, study it, scrutinize it, and repeat it. Right? And invest in yourself. So let's talk about, we talk about a lot of personal finance, business finance on the Pretty Rich podcast. And save your money, right, is a phrase that comes up a lot. But some people think that this means save every cent. I want you to be smart with how you guys spend your money, with where you buy your supplies, with how much you spend on your marketing, with who you work with. I want you guys to understand how to be frugal, right? How to get the best deals. But it doesn't mean to never spend any money. And contrary to what most beauty business owners think, saving money, trying to save money, could be the reason why you're still broke. Because don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with wanting to save money that you've worked hard for, but everything is good, but only in small amounts. You want to do this in moderation because you might be trickling into the cheap lane now. Now you're just being cheap. And being cheap is expensive. I'm going to give you guys some examples of where I messed up in the past, but money is an asset, right? And it's likely the most obvious and easiest to measure. And most people don't realize, though, that time, relationships, and health are also very valuable assets that they don't have. Do you remember those things? Remember those things? Relationships, your health. Remember that? I know we forget because we're in brow world. Some people worry too much about saving money and lose all of those other things in the process. And this is hard to understand. It's really hard to understand when you're so wrapped up in your business and building your business. And how do you know if now you're being cheap, if saving money is helping you or it's keeping you poor? How do you know? So let's talk about the difference between being cheap and being frugal, right? As you guys know, conventional brow makeup costs money. How much do your clients spend on brow pomades, brow pencils, brow mascaras? And how much time? Because time is also money. How much time do they spend shaping their brows every single day? You know, with PMU, that process is just a lot faster. It doesn't mean they never have to wear makeup, but that process makes things so much easier when you have a template, right? And that confidence level, that's also something that's a currency as well. And you know that once they get a procedure from you, it ups their value. They save money and they make money. So being cheap and being frugal can seem very similar since both mean that you want to keep money for yourself. So let's talk about what is the difference between a frugal business owner and a cheap business owner. Or just a cheap person and a frugal person, right? So a cheap person wants to spend as little money as possible or no money. No money. So this is the type of person that would skip a birthday party to save money on not having to buy a gift for that person. I've met those people this is the type of business owner that won't buy their clients aftercare and just tell them to go to CVS, or who would buy the cheapest car, even if some of the parts don't work, or who would buy shampoo in little sachets every day instead of a shampoo bottle that might last them longer. Now, on the other hand, being frugal, somebody who is frugal is careful about how he or she spends money. But they don't just look at the price and then they make a decision based on that. They think long term. They also look at the value, how long it will last, how good the items are. Will they get a better result? So this is the type of person who would bring a gift to a birthday party because he or she knows that relationships are also a currency, right? This is the type of business owner that would buy aftercare for their clients so that their clients will have a better client experience, right? And they would have better customer service and better referral rates. And this is also the type of person who would rather spend just a little bit more on their shampoo, on their beauty products, but maybe use it carefully so it'll last longer. But they just want quality. They want quality and they're being smart about it. So there is a difference between saying a penny saved is a penny earned. There is a difference between hoarding and saving every penny and managing the fruits of your labor well, right? So, yes, Charmaine, great advice is priceless. So, we'll talk about that in a second. Trying to save money can end up costing you more because cheap things wear out quickly. It might be tempting to buy the cheapest PMU machines out there because they might do everything that the high end ones do. But as the saying goes, you do get what you pay for. Cheaper things wear out faster. True story, when I first started my permanent makeup business, I came across these super expensive machines, super expensive, like $10,000. At that time too, it was like 2011, 2012. Oh, they were really gouging us. They were really gouging us. And so it was thousands and thousands of dollars. But I found these like $30 machines on the internet that looked similar, but were not reviewed. And I decided to take a chance and order them. They broke all the time. And good luck trying to get a refund on that. May have been eBay or some obscure website, but they broke all the time. They even broke mid-procedure. And if it's the only machine you have, you are effed, sister, especially if it's mid-procedure. You are literally paying double being cheap. What I should have done is I should have just invested in the companies that were selling the machines that were pricier, but had a money back guarantee, had a warranty, had a customer service line. Because when the fate of your business, where you getting paid, where you paying rent, putting food on the table, literally rests in the hands of this $30 cheap machine. And they made a profit off of that. So I'm sure it was like maybe like $8 to make. It's like resting on those hands. Like that is not, that doesn't feel good. That is not peace of mind. Let's talk about the price of peace of mind as well. Being cheap can make you pay for it in other ways. All right. Expenses are not always what they seem at first glance. Let's talk about my first permanent makeup training. My first permanent makeup training, I thought was so expensive. I didn't have a whole lot of money at the time. I think it was like $5,000. It was like I think it was a little less. Yeah, I think it was less. And I thought it was so expensive. But think about how much money it's made me now. Think about how much money that first training, it got me through at least the first 6 months of me diving into this business. You know, we bitch about how much training costs, but we don't bat an eye when it comes to college. College. That's an insane investment. And what's the promise at the end of a lot of those degrees? A $75,000 a year job. So it's all about, so one thing that I feel like traditional education got right is the concept of borrowing money from your future self, from learning from somebody else how to create income. That's one thing they got right, borrowing from your future self. But it's about what things you invest in, what things you learn, right? My first business coach, I think I paid for something that was like $2,000 and it was just like a bunch of videos situation. And it got me started. It sure did. It got me started into content creation, into learning how to create content better. It taught me how to create content, but it didn't teach me how to sell from that content. My second business coach, 5-figure investment. So scary. So scary. But I created $1 million business from that piece of information. And it taught me, you can say it taught me not much. It did teach me one thing, but it was a very valuable thing. It taught me how to convert that content and turn it into clients, which is the same thing I teach my students inside Pretty Rich Bosses. So that 5-figure investment, I mean, my business brings in multiple 6 figures a month. So if I look at that 5-figure investment, that was a couple years ago, was it worth it? Yeah, absolutely. Had I been cheap about that, oh my gosh, I would be living a completely different life. So in conclusion, saving money might not mean you actually spend less. It could mean thinking about the long-term value of things, the long-term value of the things that you buy, things that you invest in, and putting your money in the right places. Right? Putting money in the right places, in the best places. Because people who are cheap often let their cheapness hurt their businesses, their relationships, their health. So don't forget that you might also want to take care of other things in your life. Remember of other things in your life? Money doesn't just buy you things that you can hold in your hands. Money can buy you experiences. Money can buy you, can help you in building precious relationships through experiences and time with people. It can help you take care of your health if you use it wisely. And these things can help you make more money in the future by making you an overall more well-rounded person, a smarter person, a sharper business ninja. You know, what good is it to keep all your money if you get sick, have bad relationships, or don't know what the heck you're doing in your beauty business? What good is it just sitting there in your bank account? So it's important to watch what you spend, set financial goals, and work toward them without giving up other things that are important to you. So my encouragement to you is to be smart. To be smart, don't be cheap. Invest in yourself. Don't do it recklessly, but invest in yourself. Continue to invest in your business, because I know this. I know what it's like to basically advertise whenever you're posting, advertise to the same 300 people over and over again. You have to invest in growth if you want a growth, because you posting, by the way, to the same people over and over again is not marketing. Now you're just nagging. There's a difference. Guys, thanks for joining me here on Pretty Rich Podcast. And I want to invite you guys to go check out getpmuclients.com, getpmuclients.com. Check it out. It comes with an educational piece, an educational video teaching you how we help our students inside Pretty Rich Bosses get PMU clients, and also the opportunity to book a strategy call if you haven't already. If you haven't booked a strategy call and you've been following me for a little bit, why not check it out today? It's literally a free call. There's nothing to lose. But I really think that if you guys go to the website, check out that video, check out that webinar, and make a decision from that webinar, from that video, whether or not you want to book a call. But anybody here who wants to 2x their income or their money back in their beauty business should freaking make a call. Go to getpmuclients.com. And if you haven't already rated this podcast on iTunes and left a 5-star review, I want to implore you to do just that right now. Stop what you're doing, go on iTunes and rate this podcast 5 stars and write me a review. I read all of them and I appreciate all of them. Like, a thank you is not enough. A thank you is not enough. I so appreciate your support of this podcast. Until next time, you guys, have a blessed day.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to today's episode of Pretty Rich Podcast. If you want to continue the conversation longer, check me out on Instagram. It's my favorite place to connect with you guys at Real Sheila Bella. I'm happy to answer any of your questions or simply to chat and get to know you better. And if you end up doing something super awesome like screenshotting this episode and reposting it on your stories, that would put the biggest smile on my face. Don't forget to tag me. I appreciate every share and love feedback from my listeners. Also, do you have my number? Because if we're going to keep hanging out, you should probably have my number. So you can actually text me. That's right. You can text me at 310-388-4588. And if you're sick and tired of doing business alone and you're interested in accelerating your success by hiring a business coach or joining our mentorship program called Pretty Rich Bosses, go ahead and just apply. Why not? Check it out. Go to sheilabella.com/apply. And we'll schedule a free strategy session with either myself or one of my advisors. And of course, I gotta include my kids. So here to send us off are Bo and Gray. Gray, say share with your friends.
Share with friends.
Please review my mommy on iTunes.
Mama iTunes.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Hey, Bo, can you tell everybody what our family motto is?
Yeah. I can do hard things.
I can do hard things. Good job, buddy.